Students of class 9, welcome all to the online teaching session of Rayenda govt.Pilot High School, Sharankhola Bagerhat. I am MD Masum Billah, B Honors, MA English, B.Ed, Assistant Teacher of English. I think that you all are well and I am well too. In last class, we discussed elaborately about tense. Now we are going to discuss in details about voice. At first, we have to know what voice is. We have to know the definition now. And the definition is voice is that form of the verb which shows whether the subject acts or is acted upon. Now we can talk about the classification of voice. There are two kinds of voice. The first one is active voice and the other is passive voice. Active voice is the form of a verb which shows the subject is the actor of the action. Here is an example of active voice. He does the work. Here the subject is he and the subject works directly here. Then we can say about passive voice. when the subject of an action is acted upon, it is said to be passive voice. Now we can give another example of passive voice. The work is done by him. In passive voice, the subject is always in object form. So here the subject works indirectly. Now we are to discuss about auxiliary verbs on the basis of tense to turn active voice into passive voice. The first one is present indefinite tense. Here the auxiliary verbs are am oblique, is oblique, are. Then is present continuous tense. In this case, the auxiliary verbs are am being, oblique, is being, oblique, are being. The third one is present perfect tense. Here the auxiliary verbs are have been, oblique, has been. And the next is present perfect continuous tense. Here auxiliary verbs are have been, being, oblique, has been, being. So present tense has been ended. Now there is past tense. At first, at number 5, past indefinite tense. And auxiliary verbs are was, oblique, were. Then there is past continuous tense. In this case, the auxiliary verbs are was, being, oblique, were, being. At number 7, there is past perfect tense. And auxiliary verb is had been. Now there is past perfect continuous tense at number 8. And auxiliary verb is had been, being. So past tense has been ended. Now there is only future tense to complete. And at number 9, there is future indefinite tense. And auxiliary verbs are shall be, oblique, will be. At number 10, there is future continuous tense. And auxiliary verbs are shall be, being, oblique, will be, being. Then is future perfect tense. And auxiliary verbs are shall have been, oblique, will have been. And at last, at number 12, there is future perfect continuous tense. And in this case, auxiliary verbs are shall, have, been, being, oblique, will, have, been, being. And in case of modal auxiliary verb, be will be added to it. Here is an example. If there is can in active voice, in passive voice there will be can be. But if there is have at last, been will be added to it. Here is another example. If there is might have, been will be added to it. So, dear students of class 9, now we are going to close our online coaching session. In our next class, we will discuss much about the rules of changing voice. Thank you everybody for participating in our online class of Rayenda Govt.Pilot High School. Goodbye at this moment.